I've already made money, so bull run crushed.
Well, do you think the bull run's over now then?
No, we're just getting started, brother.
So
get
where's
ready
it
for $1
go?
million Bitcoin, baby.
When?
The next couple of years. It's going to take a while.
think?
Because if it's not through the value of Bitcoin, it's through the depreciation of the dollar. So it'll just compensate in that way. Remember, the dollar is just supposed to hold its purchasing power.
What do you think about Mt. Gox and all the money that's flowing in from that?
A lot of these different avenues will get eaten up by the ETF. You know, the big companies are buying up all the Bitcoin. They're realizing they have so much money, they have so much excess. They need to create markets. Markets are created. So Bitcoin is a market that still has 100x potential. So rich, successful hedge funds are realizing this. Now they have the government on their side. They're all in.
What do you think the best way to invest is? Buying in at the dips? Because I bought more when it dipped recently, but then I don't like buying on the way up. But I suppose you could dollar cost average in. What would you suggest?
Buy whenever you're okay losing that money. That's how you that's how you got to think about it. So whenever I buy Bitcoin, I hold it. Like my Bitcoin reserve is my Bitcoin reserve. It's denominated in Bitcoin. It's not denominated in dollars. My goal, I tell people, if you can get to a Bitcoin, you're a G, because that's going to be worth a lot. Because in the near future, not every millionaire is going to be able to own a Bitcoin. There's more millionaires than there are Bitcoin. So that could tell you something. You think the craze with NFTs was wild? Just wait till Bitcoin in 2030. I think it's 2030, 2034, something along this timeline. 99% of the Bitcoin will be mined. So there will be no more Bitcoin in circulation. So everything that's coming into existence, the market that's created, is based off of an asset class that can only go up. Because if the demand continues to increase and the supply doesn't, price appreciation. Who's bet on winning plays?
I suppose if they regulate the industry more and like Coinbase can't operate,
it's too
the
late.
on-ramps.
It's too late for all of it.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Well, with the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF getting approved in the next couple, it's too late. It's too late. El Salvador owns Bitcoin. It's a sovereign nation. You think that they're the only one that is going to ever do it? No.
Is there not something that could be done though if they wanted to? And I don't think that they would, but let's just say for somewhere like China, for example, they ban a lot of things that you wouldn't expect them to ban. So if the US wanted to,
you don't need an individual unit. A Bitcoin could operate without the United States. Every Bitcoin-related business would leave the United States and go to Dubai and continue operating.
I guess so. It's just that if the United States, for some reason, didn't like the way it was going, they felt like it was a threat to their power or whatever, and they said that if you live in the United States or if you're American, it's illegal for you to do so. That would obviously put a lot of people off. A lot of the casual investors and stuff would probably pull away from it, and then how would that impact things? Not to say that would happen.
So,
but I think
in the scenario that it would happen, which is impossible, it wouldn't happen because people would revolt. Yeah, I just don't see their scenario. It's not even worth presenting. Bitcoin, because it's a single point of failure. Bitcoin will just move elsewhere. The value of Bitcoin will just move elsewhere. If you're not allowed to own Bitcoin in the US, okay, how are you going to stop me from owning my Bitcoin?
Yeah, no, I get that. I think just what I...
Do you still not own any Bitcoin?
Not at the moment. I have done before, but I always just end up dipping out.
I just don't care. I really just don't.
Why don't you just buy some and hold it?
No, I will get some. I definitely will get some.
You've been saying that
very soon.
for years.
Yeah, I will do.
And
soon.
if you had done it when you first said it, instead of buying the watch,
then I'd have probably made some nice money. Yeah, but we've already established I can't invest. Every time I invest, I lose money.
yeah, but that's because
I've never made money on an investment in my life.
Why?
Because I'm just too.
He sells it for tax purposes. And
just
everything.
fucking start moving shit around.
He messes with the money.
Calm down.
Right. Yeah.
Luke's
Chill.
gonna question you now.
Let's go.
Why?
Why? What?
Why have you never made a good investment?
Because I make investments that turn out to be good investments, but for some reason I don't have them anymore once that comes into
So you don't have
fruition.
the balls to hold?
Yeah, it must be.
All right.
So you're lacking balls.
It's a lack of conviction.
I've made some great investments.
So you know how you develop conviction? You know how you develop conviction?
Go on. What's your...
Knowledge.
Right.
So if you spent the next 100 hours studying Bitcoin and studying where your money currently resides, you would go to Bitcoin.
Yeah, I get that. It is an ignorance thing. I just genuinely don't care enough.
I understand. That's just NPC behavior, and you will deal with the consequences of of that inaction.
Are they necessarily consequences though?
But if you can't be bothered to do the research,
we'll see when they tell you in a couple of years that you got to get vaccinated again, or they'll freeze your bank account.
No, but what I'll do is I'll just buy some with money that I'm prepared to lose, and then just see what happens, and I don't have to know about it.
Yeah, because you're still looking at it as an investment instead of a new form of money. It's a new form of money.
Yeah, I see it as an investment. I don't know. I do just.
You don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
That's okay.
I've always said this.
Yeah, but once again, it's like you need to go through that phase of feeling stupid to then become knowledgeable. And there's certain things that are ROI positive to be knowledgeable about. Like if you're expending life force, time, energy, and attention to generate money, can you hold that invested time, energy, and attention in the year 2050? Can you retain that energy that you've instilled? Because energy can either be created or destroyed. It can only be what? Transformed. Second law of thermodynamics. The entire world is bound by natural law. Fiat isn't, which means it's corrupted. Doesn't work because you're creating something out of thin air. You can't do that. It's against natural law, which means the system will implode. So under that premise, knowing that energy that can either be created or destroyed, it can only be transformed. What are you transforming your energy into? You need to transform your energy into something that can't be printed more of. So you take your energy and you store it in Bitcoin, instead of taking your energy and storing it in fiat, because fiat can get printed out of thin air, because it actually requires physical energy to mine a Bitcoin right now.
I actually get
See
more
you a Bitcoin,
worried.
baby.
Are you going to get some Bitcoin?
He's going to get some Bitcoin.
Yeah, of course I will.
Personally,
of course I will.
I get more worried when I have the money in my bank account and I'm going over a threshold and I think, to be honest with you, this isn't going to be covered. I'd rather hold it in Bitcoin because I feel safe with that.
Why isn't it going to be covered?
Because of the insurance and everything. There's only so much you can hold in different banks.
Because you're not holding anything.
Yeah.
Because banks do not deposit money. You do not deposit money into the banks. When you give the money in the bank, you're loaning the bank money. That's why you have an interest return. Once you get an interest return, that money is no longer an asset, it's a liability. And then they take that liability and they create credit. They are in the business of buying and selling securities. They're not in the business of storing your money. So once you understand that they're not in the business of storing your money, then you need to store your money. So what are you going to store your money into? Monopoly? Paper that they've been told brings value? We're going to find an alternative system. The intelligent person that values their time, energy, and attention, because it's a finite resource and they want to maintain that into the near future, they will find an alternative system. How you're thinking isn't bad. It's just you can't think that way because it's no longer 1915 where money isn't getting printed out of thin air. Back in the day, you could go work a factory job and in 3 years buy a house cash. Because and you could just save money because they weren't printing more of it. So you can't save money because they're printing more of it, which means the money that you currently have is worth less. So you need to put that money that you currently have, energy units, into something before that thing becomes more valuable. You have to be earlier than the other motherfucker. That's the name of the game, dude. You have to get your money into resources and places before everybody else. That's why the people that bought real estate in New York City early on capitalized. Supply, demand. Supply, demand. What if there's no longer any demand for the dollar? When we have infinite supply. And you're buying Bitcoin to hold Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin and denominated in dollars, you're not buying Bitcoin.